Too late. Is it too late? All right, we're back. I believe we're back. What's up, everybody? Welcome. Today was interesting so far. Part 2 of day 3 trial of Cassie testifying on the stand. This morning she came in. Make sure you guys check out the morning stream if you missed it. If there's a playlist too, check out the playlist and hit the like button, subscribe, turn on bell notifications. And this morning started off with the prosecution and the defense clashing over and going back and forth about how much each side deserves, or how much notice each side deserves. Notice of handing in these exhibits and information over. The U.S. Attorney Maureen Comey noticeably angry as she lashed out at the defense for allegedly not turning over exhibits. So there was like this kind of drama back and forth this morning. Cassie describes the hotel attack. She says Combs told her she wasn't going to leave him. We watched the new video that was released, the full length of this hotel video, which was about 15 minutes, where you see her, being dragged and hit and stomped, and also Flores and some other hotel staff that morning. And there was this incident that Combs banged and kicked Cassie's apartment after the hotel. That was talked about, and that she called the cops. Well, no, she didn't call the cops. Her friend called the cops. She didn't tell the cops that it was Diddy that hit her, but she told the cops about the situation, and that Diddy had shown up to the Westwood apartment building, chaos outside of the door, banging, kicking, yelling, all kinds of stuff. Cassie says she covered up a black eye, fat lip, and bruised legs for the movie premiere that took place. She talked about ketamine. That was her preference of substance, where it's a dissociative, and so it kind of helped her disconnect, I guess. And she said that Sean had it and took it out of the freak off. Ventura testifying about having sex with other men at Combs' direction and it was preferred because of the dissociative. The prosecution showed Ventura dozens of photos of sex workers hired. Islander, Ash, Skylar, Jake, bunch of different people. Some of them she didn't even know their names. And Cassie says Combs blackmailed her with the sex videos of the freak-offs. He would record this stuff and have it on his device. They also said, which was interesting, that Sean's daughters supposedly are not in court today. I thought that was kind of interesting. She also mentioned that she was threatened that there was going to be this leak of the sex tape of her having sex with another man. Cassie would recover from freak-offs with massages and drugs. And this one kind of was like the thing that kind of took me back a bit too today. Cassie says freak-offs gave her UTIs, which is not really that surprising, mouth sores, and stomach problems. So she had all kinds of health issues going on. When we were having frequent freak-offs, they were back-to-back. And sometimes I would do a freak-off with the infection. And she said I tried to flush it out with water. I got to the point where Cipro, which is an antibiotic, didn't work anymore. It was a mess. She said she would get mouth sores due to repeated oral with lubricant. She said it was really painful. I can't believe I dealt with that. The other thing, Combs tried to force swingers lifestyle on Cassie with clubs, adult clubs. This lifestyle included sex club visits with Ventura. Cassie, she said she didn't enjoy it. Combs pressed the issue. Some of the time he would try to turn the energy around and keep it positive, become playful and funny and not scary. He would try and push to convince me. She said she would get really scared doing these freak-offs. She said she felt mortified and trapped. She spotted Combs watching videos of her having sex while they flew in a commercial jet. So there's other people, the plane's full, the homeboys, they're sitting there watching videos of her getting screwed by other guys. Wild. Cassie recalled a time where Combs attacked her and gashed her face in 2013, then forced her to go get see a plastic surgeon to treat the wound. Sean came in. I was asleep. He was trying to attack me. He went into the master bedroom. My friends were jumping on his back, trying to stop him, she testified. I cut my eyebrow in the corner of the bed. Sean threw me onto the bed frame. I had a significant gash. I didn't go to the ER. It was a Sunday. Sean had security take me to a plastic surgeon in Beverly Hills. She also told Combs, "You treat me like Ike Turner." The guy that would beat Tina Turner. "You treat me like Ike Turner," Ventura Cassie wrote to Combs, a reference to a volatile marriage the late musician known to have had with his ex-wife, Tina Turner. He was abusive and controlling. More and more is coming out, and it's looking bad for Diddy. It's not looking good. They're supposed to be showing freak-offs today, or, you know, in the courtroom. Not everybody's going to be able to see it, though. It's just going to be for the jury, I guess. The jury and the judge and the lawyers. I guess Cassie's going to be able to see it, too. Freak-offs. And they're back in the courtroom right now. Let me get myself situated here. It's crazy, man. Crazy. So they come back into the courtroom. All rise. As to Exhibit 619, the objection to the defendant's proposal is overruled. Let's have Miss Ventura back, Cassie, then we'll bring in the jury. Jury's entering in. Prosecution says, "I have a binder for the court. The gallery will not be able to see these exhibits." Miss Ventura, I will show you some exhibits. 2A404. Who is it? Cassie says she worked for Shaw. Prosecution says, "We will call her Mia." This is the other victim, allegedly, I believe. "When you gave your devices to the government, were they working?" Cassie said no, they were broken. Prosecution says, "Put up 602A for Miss Ventura and the jury only." "What's on your skin?" Cassie says oil. Prosecution says, "When did Sean first hurt you physically?" Cassie says it started in the first year. Prosecution says, "What staffers were present when Sean was physical with you?" Defense says objection. Physical is vague. Prosecution says, "Okay, punching you, hitting you. Too vague? I'll get detailed. Punching, hitting." Wow. They're supposed to, the prosecution's supposed to end this afternoon. We'll see. I hope that we get to the cross today, this afternoon. Still have a couple hours in. Still have a couple hours left. Oh. Oh, snap, bro. You know we gotta do that shit, bro. Oh. Oh, hell no. Oh, we got work to do, bruh. We got work to do. Let me pull up all the clips. I guess we'll do it after today's trial. Let me just pull up all the clips. We're gonna have to do a live after this one. Oh, we ain't gonna stop. You thought we were gonna stop? We ain't gonna stop. No, we not. No, we not. They said Jonathan Adi will be testifying at some point. That's gonna be wild. That's gonna be a superstar witness. Oh, man. Objection. That's too vague. Okay. All right. Well, we'll give you the details. We'll give you the details. Oh. Since you open the door, we'll be more detailed. Oh, damn. Cudi. Okay, just setting this up for the next stream after. And then we'll get to some of the tweet updates, what's going on in the courtroom, testimony. All right, guys, welcome back. Welcome back. Let's see what's going on here. So we left off with punching and hitting. Oh, they're flagging this dude? Or they're flagging his post? Twitter is. Oh, no, they're not. Okay, that's really weird. I don't know what's going on with Twitter. Well, they haven't updated yet. We're still waiting. Punching and hitting. Okay.
Testimony and raise reasonable doubt, I don't think they'll put their client anywhere near the stand, because imagine the questions that are going to be thrown out at him. I mean, prosecutors will be, you know, licking their chops for something like that. That's what you live for if you're an assistant U.S. attorney. You know, the other questions that I have is, you know, victim 3. You know, the government talked about her. She disappeared for a while last week. This is a former employee of Combs. You know, is she having cold feet? Was she potentially paid off? And the reason it matters is, you're the government, you really want to support the testimony of Cassie Ventura with other victims who are telling the same story. I'm not saying that Cassie's testimony isn't enough, because the law says the testimony of one victim is enough, but sometimes jurors have a tough time believing one victim. That's why if you see in cases like Bill Cosby or Harvey Weinstein, you really see the government putting on victim after victim, R. Kelly, who are telling that same story. That's how you overwhelm the defense. So the question I have is 2 or 3 victims, is that enough to get a conviction here? Should the prosecution have maybe put on more, 5 or 6 victims, when you know where they're probably upwards of 100 people that are raising these types of allegations? Did the government go all in on Cassie Ventura in this case?
Yeah, those are some of my questions as well. Nima Rahmani, can't thank you enough. Your insight and analysis has been so invaluable. I know it's only day 2. We'll talk soon. Thanks so much, Nima.
The extent.
All right, back out live worldwide for you on Live Now from Fox. We are getting some new details from inside of the courtroom. We are being told Cassie Ventura told the court today that she and Sean Combs would occasionally go to sex clubs as part of the swingers lifestyle Combs wanted them to have. She said an escort called Jules would sometimes go with them and, at Combs' request, have sex with her. Ventura testified that she disliked the sex clubs but considered Jules a friend and a safe place and preferred to have sex with him than with strangers. I was just uncomfortable, she told the court. I'm not into the person I'm in love with being with someone else. That's just not my thing. Cassie Ventura also said that she was always drunk when she visited sex clubs with Sean Combs because I didn't want to be there sober. We are also learning after a scuffle, Combs said, "You don't know when to stop," Cassie testified. On one occasion back in 2013, while she was packing to go to Drake's music festival in Canada, Cassie said Combs scuffled with her friends and threw her into a bed frame. She said she suffered a pretty significant gash above her left eye. Combs' security personnel brought her to a plastic surgeon in Beverly Hills to get the wound stitched up. Afterwards, she texted Combs a photo of her injured face and wrote, "So you can remember." Combs replied, "You just don't know when to stop. You pushed it too far and continue to push." Sad. Also, a testimony from Cassie saying Combs sometimes convinced her to go to these sex clubs or swinger clubs in Las Vegas or LA. At least once, she said, one of the escorts who participated in the freak-offs came along with his girlfriend. She said she had sex with the escort at the sex club. At times, Cassie testified, she told Combs it made her feel uncomfortable to go to the sex clubs. "I'm not into seeing the person you're in love with somebody else," she said. Cassie said he responded by continuing to push for it, saying it would be a fun thing to do and we wouldn't have to go for long. Prosecutors have also asked Cassie Ventura if she ever left a freak-off before it was finished. She said she had sometimes tried to when it was a bad time or when she became scared of Sean Combs' behavior. She said she would typically find a back exit at the hotel and leave through an alley, but Combs would call her and look for her after she left, Ventura said. She testified that the only time she actually left the premises during a freak-off was in March of 2016 at the Intercontinental in Los Angeles, the same incident in which Combs was seen on security footage chasing her down and beating her in the hallway. Every other time, she said, she ended up back in the room where the freak-off was happening. So again, we are hearing from the prosecution, trying to frame up for Cassie and really the jury mind, talking about just these freak-offs and how they're trying to pinpoint and really trying to zero in how Cassie felt that she was forced to participate in these, and talking about that she only left the premises one time. And that is during the 2016 incident that took place at the Intercontinental. Every other time, she said, she always wound up back at the freak-off that was continuing on. And again, we are showcasing all of the latest updates for you here on Live Now from Fox as we continue to roll on, waiting for more crucial updates coming from the court as Cassie Ventura is still on the stand, day 3 of this Diddy trial, as we are being told from Cassie Ventura on the stand right now. She told the court that she and Sean Combs would occasionally go to sex clubs as part of the swingers lifestyle Combs then wanted that Combs wanted them to have. She said an escort called Jules would sometimes go with them and at Combs' request have sex with her. Ventura testified that she disliked the sex clubs but considered Jules a friend and a safe place and preferred to have sex with him, rather with him and then strangers. So again, we'll be following this here for you every step of the way.
Oh, help me out with the like button, y'all.
Bringing you these updates from the court reporters that are inside of the courtroom. And again, bringing those updates to you as we get them.
All right, let me fix this here. We're gonna do this.
Well,
we're gonna tap in
about once again how we are being told of more violence that Cassie is saying that Diddy did back on one occasion in 2013 while she was packing to go to Drake's music festival in Canada. Cassie said
I forgot about that.
Scuffled with her friends and threw her into a bed frame. She said she suffered a pretty significant gash above her left eye. Holmes' security personnel brought her to a plastic surgeon in Beverly Hills to get the...
All right, let's catch up. Let's see what's going on here. So this morning was interesting. The UTI talk, the numerous escorts, numerous names. Some she didn't even remember really. You know, the drugs and sex, and her saying that Diddy was physical with her and hit her in the face. Multiple locations, different cities. I guess that's where they're trying to get the trafficking in. UTIs, infections, so much so that the antibiotics or whatever stopped working. Sores in her mouth, just completely unhappy, miserable. And they released the 15-minute full unedited video of Sean acting like a complete nut job inside of the hotel lobby, like a complete nut job, controlling, thirsty, desperate, crazy, unhinged, you know. Woo! Cassie, she wore a black blazer, long gray dress that hugged her baby bump. As she testified today, she quietly but deliberately spoke and flicked her hair nervously over her shoulder. And she spoke about these freak-offs and that she didn't want to be part of it. The UTIs, feeling numb, the friction in her mouth from drugs and oral. Felt tired, dehydrated. She felt gross and empty.
Jeff Monhay donated $5 through Super Chat. This is outrageous. He's toast. Person shrugging emoji.
Thank you, Jeff, for the 5. Appreciate the support, man. Oh yeah, she's definitely going into all the details. It's worse than I thought, for sure. You know, with the blood and the urine and the drinking and the pee and all this stuff. This guy really, you know. Wow. Now they came into the court room back from the break. Where are we at here? Back from break. They were talking about these exhibits. And they came back from the jury. Mr. Ventura came back. The prosecution's asking for a binder from the court. And they're showing Cassie some exhibits to A404. Who is this? And Ventura says she worked for Sean. And we'll call her Mia. And when you gave your devices to the government, were they working? Cassie said no, they were broken. And they put up another exhibit, which I guess is like a photo. And they say, Cassie, what's on your skin? It's oil. When did Sean first physically... When did he first hurt you physically? She said it started in the first year. What staffers were present when Sean was physical with you? And the defense got upset because they said it's vague. And so they were like, okay, fine, no problem. Punching, hitting. And the prosecution says, when did Sean first use violence on you? She said in New York City, we were in the car with his security and he knocked me around. Prosecution said, what did he do? He hit me to the side of the head. I fell to the floor of his Escalade. In January 2009, did you attend an event in LA with Sean? Cassie says, yes. What happened as you left? Cassie says, I had been speaking to a producer about music. Sean called me a slut. I hit him in the face. I had been drinking. Prosecution says, did you see any injuries? She says, no. Cassie says, I was on the floor of the car and he stopped my face. Prosecution says, how long did this last? She says, 10 minutes. When I tried to get away, but Sean's security brought me back. Prosecution says, who? She said, Roger Bonds. What did they tell me? Prosecution says, Cassie said, go to a hotel. Oh. Not looking good. Because that video, and they're showing pictures in the courtroom, shows he's totally capable of all this. He was, in fact, seemed very comfortable doing all of this. Yeah, that's true, Jamie. He literally does enjoy that. That's crazy. Oh, I can't do it. Oh. So continues, I was on the floor. He stopped on my face. How long did it last? 10 minutes. Then I tried to get away, but Sean's security brought me back. That's wild that they see this going on, see her getting beat, allegedly, and she's trying to get away, and security brings her back. Wow. What did they tell me? Go to the hotel. Oh, maybe bring her back to the hotel or something, or bring her back to Sean. Cassie says they snuck me to the hotel, covered up so no one could see my face. Prosecution says, how long were you at the London hotel? Cassie says a week, a little more. An assistant brought me an ice cream. Prosecution says, what was the assistant's name? Genevieve. Did you feel you could leave the London hotel? Cassie said, no. I understood his capability, his access to guns, the threats he made. Prosecution says, when you were taken to the hotel after the assault. When you were taken to the hotel after the assault. She says no. Sure. Yeah, the husband. Ooh, let's be there through that, all that stuff. Wow. So she said she didn't want to participate in the freak offs, that she said Combs is like Ike Turner, controlling, abusive. Ooh, the court also saw a text message that Ventura sent to Combs that said, you are truly the most extraordinary man. I hope you know how much I love you. I can't wait until we have a baby of our own. Oh shit, hell nah.
Oh hell no!
She was asked why she sent that message. Cassie said, because I loved him. And it was Father's Day. That was right before the lunch break. Oof. Whoa. Whoa. So after the hotel question, it says, the prosecution says, did you know that this assault incident was reported? Cassie said, I know there was a blind item on the internet without our names. Prosecution says, who raised the blind item to you? Cassie says, my mother. Defense says, objection. Prosecution says, not for the truth. Judge says, overruled. Mama, mama, you know I love you. Mama, you know I love you. Mama. Diddy's mother's there, ride or die, man. No matter what. Ride or die, her mother's love. They're showing pictures to the jury, showing pictures of the freak-offs. The pictures are not available to the media. However, reporters could watch the jury as they viewed the photos so they can see their reactions. Many jurors did not visibly react as they viewed the images, almost as if they were either numb or they themselves participate in freak-offs. Some looked at the photos just once before looking up again, while some took a second or third look, almost as if they were interested. Okay. Let's see here. Asking if she had ever seen injuries on Combs as a result of the fight she started. Cassie said no, she hadn't. Johnson asked if Ventura was injured as a result of him becoming physical, and she had said she had been. There would be at least a bruise. These fights would require a day's worth of recovery, she said. She was about to elaborate on where she would hide out. She said hotel rooms before Sean Combs' lawyer objected to the line of questioning. Both ended up going to the sidebar. That was about 10 minutes ago. Okay. A little more details there. Riveting. Oh. Da, 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 da. Oh, I messed up. Should fix a little bit more. Da, 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 da. Hello. Okay. All right. Oh, okay. Thanks. Okay. Oh, shit. Now, some people think this is normal. Some people think it's not. Diddy and his mama kiss on the lips. Breaking news. Breaking news. This is from 20, I don't know, years ago, I guess. They kiss on the lips.
I love you. I love you too.
But here, Miss God Diva says, so what? I kiss my son in the lips. Y'all reach it with this one. Who here kisses the kids on the lips? That's his mom. Y'all reaching. This is normal. Now y'all reaching. I kiss my dad on the lips. Oh, girl, I need to check you out. I kiss my son on the lips. That's why there's so many problems with y'all. Y'all sexualizing it too much when it's nowhere. What's the problem? Don't understand. Why must include people, family? Leave them alone. Most moms do it. There's nothing wrong. I kiss my mom on the lips. Sometimes at her neck. What's wrong with that? And that's where it all started from. That's his mom. It's innocent. Nothing wrong with it. Oh my God, it's ridiculous. Scraping the barrel. Y'all desperate. Come on. I kiss my kid's toes. Okay. Y'all, is this a black thing? Because everyone's saying this isn't weird in the comments. Isn't white. I know my mom never kissed me on her damn lips. This person said they kissed their kid with tongue. What's wrong with that? Wow, damn, y'all, oh, Jesus. He also bangs unwilling, sucked up dudes raw. Do you kiss your kids on the lips? I don't. But I know some people do. Let's do a poll. Let's run a poll. Let's run it. And if you don't have kids, would you or would you not? I think it's a little weird personally. I think it's a little weird, but some people, you know, that's they feel affection, and that's how they, with their kids, that's how they connect. Oh shit, Jeff. Jeff said people kiss their dogs on the lips. That's kind of true. That dog sometimes he sneaks in a kiss. Sometimes he afraid. Yeah, that's true. That is sus. Hell no. All right, let's see what's up with the tweets. Okay, Ventura. Cassie says this was before FaceTime was very popular, so I could hide myself. She asked if it was me. What did you say? Cassie said, no, I did not want my mother to know something of that magnitude and be in danger. Prosecution says, when you went to a party with your girlfriends, what happened? Cassie says, I saw executives from BET. Oh. Then I heard that Sean was there. Prosecution says, what did you do? I left. I ran out as fast as I could. Prosecution says, why? Cassie says, I thought he was angry.
Tactical Soap Scum donated $4.99 through Super Chat. I think we can all agree that Diddy should have just played The Last of Us instead of being a degenerate, and we wouldn't be in this situation.
Oh shit. The Last of Us. I couldn't even finish the second season. Watched one episode and that was it. The Last of Us. So far with the poll, let's see what we got. Do you kiss your kids on the lips? 84% say no. 16% say yes. Some people do. And I feel like the people that do though is probably women. Women can get away. I don't think guys could really. I mean, the people be looking at them crazy. But I never grew up like that, like with the kiss on the lips. It was always a kiss on the cheek. I give my mother a hug, kiss on the cheek, you know. And my daughter hugs, kiss on the cheeks, you know. And that's it. I don't pop kiss on the lips or nothing like that. We got a new update. So she leaves this party. She says she ran as fast as she could. Then it said, prosecution says, did he come up to the hotel where you were staying? Cassie says, yes. He came up He beat me, called me names. My face was bruised. Is this the photo? This oh, sorry. Prosecution says, this photo, who is it? Cassie says, Scott Cudi. No, that's Kid Cudi! Oh, shit. Kid Cudi. He needs to testify. Kid Cudi. Oh, hell nah, bruh. Kid Cudi. He's the guy. No wonder he was wearing dresses. No wonder. Oh, they briefly dated in 2011. She says Diddy found out through her phone and the violence escalated. This added to her early testimony about the GHB during freak-off UTIs. Oh. Oh, man. Diddy's crazy. Diddy's crazy because they say he tried to... Then he allegedly blew up Kid Cudi's car. Facebook. That's wild, man. Kid Cudi. P. Diddy? Oh. Ben says, I'll kiss my mom. I love her to death. Scrap Out says, I kiss my adult daughter, lifelong friends, siblings, and parents on the lips. Yo, all of them? Really? Even your friends? It's a quick smack. I have always... what country are you in? I also have kissed every pet cap on the lips. Damn. Okay, I see you. Are you from, like, are you British? Isn't there countries where they all kiss each other in the lips or something? Why are people this crazy? I don't know, man. I think people get bored. Well, maybe it's a mental health thing, but I think also people are bored. They need the next thing, the next high. Even with like addiction to sex and addiction to like porn, I think people need to like keep. After a while, your brain, you just get bored of it, and so you got to keep increasing it. You got to keep, maybe you start watching gay sex. You're getting stomped on, peed on, pooped on, animals, donkeys, dogs, cats. Just keep getting more perverse and perverse. Trying to find the next high. Neck hugs, tactical. Kissing cousins down here in the South. I mean, look at Kanye West. What he talked about growing up with his cousin and how I don't know, I guess they were playing house or something, and they were reenacting what he found, I guess, his mother and his father's adult content, and so Kanye West went down on his cousin. Okay, back to the update. So, Scott Miss Cudi, also known as Kid Cudi, we dated in 2011. So they were this situation happens where she ran from this hotel, or this part of this hotel. She saw executives from BET. Then I heard Sean was there, so she ran as fast as she could. She thought he was angry. Did he come to the hotel where you were staying? Yes, he beat me and called me names. My face was bruised. Then they show a picture of Kid Cudi. She said, Scott Miss Cudi, also known as Kid Cudi, we dated in 2011. Did Sean find out? Yes, in my phone. Cassie says Sean went through my phone during a freak out. Damn. He found an email. Prosecution says about what? Cassie says taking my toiletry bag to Scott's the next day. Sean put a wine opener in his hand and threatened me. I called Scott on a burner phone, Kid Cudi, and she said, prosecution says, where did you go? Cassie says to Scott's house. Then I talked with Capricorn Clark, one of Sean's assistants. Prosecution says, then what? I went to the house Sean was staying at. He told me he would release videos and hurt Scott and I. What videos? Freak off videos of me. Where's the freak off videos of Kid Cudi? Ooh. Kid Cudi. Damn, boy, look weird too. You seen this picture of Kid Cudi? Kid Cudi. No wonder. Oh, I wonder, wonder. Oh, I wonder who. This picture of Kid Cudi in a dress. It's a form of expression. I understand that, but there's Kid Cudi. Damn. Something about his eyes, though. Look like he's like hollow inside or something. Soulless, almost. Thanks, D. You monster. Oh, he had a stroke in 2016? Well, he was in rehab and he had unaliving thoughts. He checked himself into a rehabilitation facility and suffered a stroke 2 weeks into his stay. That's crazy. That's crazy. Wow. This is a bizarre story, bro. I want to know the origins of Kid Cudi. Let's update today's thumbnail to let's add Kid Cudi since the topic is Kid Cudi. Let's just slap Kid Cudi on there. That's pretty scary though. So that's gonna come in about the car explosion. That's crazy. Let's see if we can somehow squeeze Kid Cudi on there. All right, so let's check on. Let's see what we got. Some updates. So we're on the topic of Kid Cudi, and that she went. That Diddy found out about Cudi, and he had threatened to release freak-off videos, and that he would hurt Cassie and Cudi. She says, Sean kicked me in the back. I got a bruise. Prosecution says, where'd you go? Cassie says, to my hotel with the burner phone. The room was torn up. Someone peed all over the floor, pooped in the toilet, and didn't flush it. It was gross. This was just before Christmas. Wow. I went to Sean's house. I went to the house Sean was staying at. He told me he would release videos. What videos? Freak off videos. Sean kicked me in the back. Wow. This is just freaking wild, dude. Wow. So this dude, he has a peeing fetish. He likes to pee all over the place. Peeing all over the floor, pooped in the toilet. I mean, he could have been worse, because Amber Heard pooped on the bed. He pooped in the toilet, at least.
Sherry Justice, Dizzy Emoji, donated $4.99 through Super Chat. Thanks for being amazing, Mel.
Sherry,
Tie
thank
to
you for
the
the
mods,
5.
police light emoji, hit that, thumbs up emoji, or double tap your screen, police light emoji. We couldn't get
thank
through
you so
these.
much. We couldn't get through the trial without you. Glad I found you. Oh, thank you, Sherry. Thank you. Appreciate the love. Just hanging in through the long haul. Yeah, I was thinking of Amber Heard. Amber Heard pooped on Johnny Depp's bed. Sean Combs pooped in the toilet, I guess, and didn't flush it. She said it was gross. This was just before Christmas. Cassie says, I sent an email to my mom about and Capricorn for my flight to Boston to Connecticut. What did you write? Prosecution says, Cassie says that Sean said he would release the tape of me on Christmas, and that he had Scott and I hurt. He said he would be out of the country. Prosecution says, what are these photographs? Cassie says, my mother took there in Connecticut of the bruises on my back. Ooh. Prosecution says, were you entirely honest with your mother about the abuse? Cassie says, no. I said this was the first time. Ah. Prosecution says, did you tell her about the freak-offs? Cassie says, no. Now they're asking for a break. Okay. Cassie asked for a break, I should say. Cassie asked for the break. So it's a lot, man. It's a lot. It is a lot. She went through hell, man. It sounds like this woman's been through a lot. And even through all that, she still got a husband, has 3 kids. One's on the way. Wow. This guy really would, if he wanted to quiet you, wanted to shut you up, you were disrespectful. I mean, even Drake got into it. Did he slap Drake, put him in his place? Didn't he like twist his arm or something, get him a wet, pulled up his underwears or the wet willy or something? Did he sunned up Drake, I thought. Slapped him with his backhand. Drake, I'm sorry. Or was it that supposedly he just twisted his arm or something? Don't play with Puffy. I wonder, yeah, I wonder if Diddy did other stuff besides blowing up this guy's car, right? But Kid Cudi, oh man, bro, like, that's kind of scary. I want to fuck with Diddy, yo. If this chick try to come to my house, you can't come to my house. I'm sorry. Go to the cops. Go to somebody. You can't come over here. I'm not trying to get blown up in the process. This guy's a psycho. Jeez. You can have all the money in the world, bro. It's not gonna fix your problems. Might enhance it, actually. Might provide you with opportunities you might not normally have. Might provide you access. People just do whatever you want. And I guess when you have money, she's saying the security guards, everybody was in on it. Yes, sir. Yes, Diddy. Yeah. Just ask somebody to look into the story. Money talks, yeah. I'm sorry, Daddy. Drake. Damn, man. Let me pick up some of the other information from these other articles. Let's see what's coming on. Let's see what so they're being shown images of the freak offs. Okay. Still images from the videos. Okay. I thought they were going to show them the videos, but apparently they're showing them still images of the videos. Maybe that allows them to control things better. So they're shown still images. They were shown 7 still images taken from video recorders. I guess I'm going to have to mute this. I don't know what the hell this guy's doing. 7 still images taken from recordings of the freak off encounters. She says that she was forced to participate. That's me and David, Cassie testified when asked to identify the person. We are in a freak off. Wow. So they're showing them still images of the freak offs, the escorts. Diddy was his own downfall. His own perversion and lack of self-control and his own recordings, his own downfall. Everything he recorded and tried to use as blackmail to control people, now it's being used against you. Your own recordings, your own, deviancy. Only the jury, the witnesses, and the attorneys viewed the images. Monitors in the courtroom were turned off to prevent anyone else in the courtroom from viewing it. Cassie testified that the images came from videos that had been recorded on broken electronic devices. Okay. So they're getting these still. Let's see. Did Lisa come off? We'll listen to a little bit if she came back. I don't know. Let's see. Is she alive? Oh, she didn't come back, right? Not yet. Okay. Epstein Light. Diddy's basically an Epstein Light. Wow. As far as the incident with the Escalade, Cassie says the fight in the Escalade happened in front of an assistant and a security driver by the name of Roger Bonds. She said the aggression didn't end until They arrived at Sean Combs' residence, at which point she ran out the car. Bonds caught her and brought her into the home. She testified. Inside, Ventura saw her face. She said, I didn't look like myself at all, just knots and bleeding, swollen, everything. She was vomiting when Combs appeared, and his demeanor transformed once again. The person he switched over to during the car ride was now gone. Combs was freaking out over her injuries. She said he told her to sneak out the house with security and hide in the hotel. She checked into her room that night. Wow. Roger Bands, huh? Didn't he do interviews? Oh, shit. Roger Bands, former head of security. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. Oh.
I don't see a smoking. Like if they could charge him with beating up Cassie, okay. You as guilty as the day is long. We all saw it. We were all disgusted by it.
But Cassie should have filed charges on that.
Oh, fair enough.
And he would have been locked up if the tapes would have came out.
Yes, fair enough.
Okay.
But all of the rest of this stuff that has been piling on, I mean, this guy has a RICO case against him. How do you have a RICO case and ain't nobody else been charged?
Yeah,
I mean, they're calling it a criminal enterprise.
And
it's only one person.
Like,
I don't understand this.
Well.
Nah.
will see that there's going to be guys who are super close to Diddy that's getting ready to testify against him that was going to be a part of that. But the Fed said either you come testify against him or you're going to be a part of it. You're going to see a lot of guys come out getting ready to testify against Diddy. His friends.
Well, here's what I will say.
Close friends.
I'm waiting to see who these guys are. I will be the first one to tell you because I know the man. I'm not gonna say Puff was. I could say a lot of things about this man, but much of what I'm seeing, nah, I never saw that side, bro. I never saw this man spike drink. He didn't need to. All of this drugging people, he didn't need
Unless he got his rocks off by doing that.
Right. If he got his rocks off, if that was a turn on for him, drugging, like forcing and having control and all that stuff.
I'm not saying
the high is not the same for him. If that's your turn on, if you're like a sick mental freak, and that's your turn on, or now, I mean, maybe Diddy could say, hey, mental health. They use it for everything else. Mental health. My anxiety was acting up for 10 years. Hey, that's what everybody's saying now. Mental health, or maybe he's autistic. Kanye West, right? Something. You got to pull something out of the Rolodex. But if you got a true sickness in your head, there's only so many times acting it out and pretending. For him, he needs to be for real, unconsensual. That's the only way he's going to get his rocks off. The freak.
It didn't happen.
Right.
But there were few people in this man's close circle. People who I don't see in these documentaries and tell-alls. Now, I can't say what happened behind closed doors. Nobody knows what happened in each of our bedrooms. But the truth of the matter is,
business, and I don't even want to know. By the way,
yeah, but there's gonna be people who are pissed off with Puff because they feel as though he wasn't as loyal to them as they were to him.
There we go with that
and that's fair, and that is true. And Puff sitting, if he's hearing this, he would know. Yo, you know what, man? I could have did better by a lot of people. But one thing Sean Prez can say, nah. So many of these allegations, bro, I can't say what happened, didn't happen in that man's bedroom. But I ain't never seen nothing close to this, kid. I never seen nothing close to it.
You can best believe.
And to think that a man could go away for the remainder of his days for freak-off parties that by people's own words were consensual, I don't understand. You know, he's a freak. He has a sexual problem. And he might not even be the nicest person in the world. To many, I mean, even, and I love Barnes, right? I love my brother Barnes. I do. I love Barnes. I interviewed him on this platform many a time.
Man.
Barnes is my man. He's my brother. Barnes. And it's crazy because Barnes got every
Barnes is
reason.
fighting cancer now, so let's all pray for Barnes.
Pray for Barnes. Absolutely. F cancer. He got every reason to feel the way he feel because he was there for a man, and through Barnes's eyes, yo, bro, all I asked you to do, it didn't even cost you no money. I'm just asking you to bring light to my son's situation. That's it.
He didn't do it.
You could have put a couple of posts up.
Diddy was fouled for that.
Stand by me. 1,000,000%. Puff was wrong for that. I would tell Puff this to his face. But what I wouldn't do, I wouldn't sit here and make this man out to be Hannibal Lecter. He got a lot of flaws. But I don't think that this man deserved to be facing life in prison.
I mean, I don't know if he's going to be facing life, you know. I don't know if the charge of because remember he's got his
right now he's literally facing life. If he's convicted on all these charges, bro, that's life. Puff ain't coming home.
Are you sure about that?
Yes, I think it's a mandatory minimum of 15.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
If he blow trial,
right.
Okay,
I mean,
that's a mandatory minimum. That's not to say if he blow trial.
Yeah, but I'm saying, let's say he gets 15 years, man. Plus 15. Listen, man, look. One thing we do know is, man, black men do time. So he could still get out here and he could still get out here, you know what I'm saying, and have some life. But, you know, look, at the end of the day, we do know this, right? Mm-hmm. Right? That a man's sexual problem can lead to some really fucked up shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? He didn't get a hold of it. You know what I'm saying? He didn't get a hold of it. And a lot of people were damaged behind it. We do know that. We do know that some people are going to be going for a money grab. But also, we do know, based on everything now, like, can't everybody be lying? Now, yes, that's not him killing that person or anything, so it's not going to deserve a life sentence. We're just going to have to wait and see, Prez. We don't know what's going to happen. It'll all come out in a trial, man, you know?
No, it'll all come out in trial, and, you know,
I don't think if he gets convicted, he's going to get life. I just don't.
Well, I said what he's facing.
Right. I mean, R. Kelly got the young girl shit. He got 30. And we know at R. Kelly's age, he'll end up dying in there. You know?
Or worse yet, he won't. And come out broke.
No, R. Kelly's in his 50s, though. He's going to come out 80 years old.
He come out, he's 80. Yeah. Might be better to die in there. But be it as it may, man, you know, I did see a piece of them documentaries, and unfortunate. Nah, man, I didn't even recognize, you know, some of that brother, and it goes back to you know what we were talking about earlier. You know, them drugs really took a hold of him, man. Yeah. Them drugs really, and it's so sad to think, and money. Somebody who was so blessed.
Money gives you
evil.
The chance. Money gives you the opportunity to take advantage of people, and it's up to you to be a righteous man and don't do that. But people will jump and do anything for money. When you reach that much money, man, people will do fucking backflips to be close to. And if you take advantage of that, then to me, man, you're a monster. Ooh. When you take, especially women, I mean, this industry hasn't been kind to women at all. This industry has been taking advantage of women since day one.
I want to hear a little bit from this guy, because he had done some interviews, Roger Bonds. Let's listen to a little snippet.
So in the lawsuit, she said that Diddy found her phone and found emails between her and Kid Cudi. Diddy became enraged and proceeded to place a manual corkscrew between his fingers and lunged at Cassie.
Damn, bro.
Cassie ran away to stay at Kid Cudi's home to escape. Soon afterwards, one of Diddy's staff members told Cassie that he just needed to talk to Combs, you know, even though he was angry. Feeling like she couldn't escape, she returned back to Diddy. Diddy hit her several times and kicked her in the back as she tried to run out the door. She went to her parents' home in Connecticut, where her mother took pictures of the bruises that Diddy left on her. Then in February 2012, during Paris Fashion Week, Diddy told her that he was going to blow up Kid Cudi's car, and he wanted to make sure that Cudi was home with his friends when it happened. And around that time, Kid Cudi's car exploded in the driveway.
Yeah,
Do you know about this car blowing up?
I heard about that. I definitely heard about that. And I found it quite funny that the car actually did get blow up. So I would say that was accurate. I would say that.
Yeah, and I guess after that, Cudi didn't want anything to do with Cassie because this was like, okay, this is more than I bargained for.
This is crazy.
Yeah, he definitely didn't have nothing to do with her anymore after that.
How do you blow up someone's car?
That's a good question.
I mean,
especially how do you tell somebody you're going to blow up their car and then it blows up?
Yeah, you'd have to send someone to put a bomb under their car. I mean, even having a bomb is already makes you a terrorist.
Well, they got so many different things that you can make now, cocktails and all type of other stuff. But yeah, I heard about that.
I guess.
Yeah, bro.
And at that point, you were essentially gone. You were kind of phasing out.
After that situation is when I left.
Right, and you went to go work for Ciroc.
And I went to work for Ciroc, yes.
Now, working at Ciroc, your pay was lowered.
My pay was lowered. It was something that Diddy told me when he asked me if I wanted to leave. See, a lot of people get the misconception that I got fired. No, I went to Diddy, and through the grapevine, I was trying to figure out ways to get away from him because it was just too much. The drugs was too much. The fighting was too much. It was like I was a babysitter. I'm getting between him and his girlfriends fighting, him and Cassie fighting. So I had to figure out a way to keep my job and still be able to leave. So that's when I was diagnosed with diabetes. And I went and told Puff, yo, I heard you got an ambassador job open at Ciroc. He said, how you heard that? I said, come on, I've been here for 10 years. I said, people talk to me. And then he said, all right, just give me some time. About a week later, he said, okay, I'm going to let you go over there. He said, but you know you ain't making the same money over there that you're going to make with me because I don't have no control of it. Even though he did have control of it, I think he thought that was something that was going to sway me. But I had already made up my mind, like enough is enough, because it was getting to the point where we going to hurt each other. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not going to keep letting you do this. I'm not going to keep letting you talk to people, more or less talk to me, because Puff talks shit. And coming from where I come from, sometime him talking shit to me, I had to catch myself. And it was one time where he said I had lied to him. And I said, who the fuck is you for me to lie to? And Uncle Paulie came over to me and was like, yo. And I caught myself. And that's when I said, you know what? It's time for me to get out of here.
All right, let's catch up with the trial. Let's see what's going on. They're back in the room, back in the courtroom. And they're back. Judge says, Miss Johnson, any estimate? 1 more hour. So they're taking this thing to the end of the day, I guess. I mean, it's 3:18 now. 4:18, 4:20. We might have a little bit of cross, but I don't even know if it's worth to start today. I mean, I want to. I hope they do, but they might just go back till tomorrow. We'll see. So prosecution says 1 more hour. The goal is to finish the direct and allow the cross-examination to start today. Okay, motherfucker. Okay. Judge says bring in the witness and the jury back in. Jury enters. Prosecution says, did anyone come and see you in Connecticut? Cassie says Scott did, which I think is Kid Cudi, for a few days. I broke it off with him. It was too dangerous. Defense says, objection! Judge says, overruled. Cassie says, Sean said he would hurt both of us. Prosecution says, where did you go after Connecticut? Cassie says, I went to see Sean. He was in Arizona, his son, college. I told my mother I was going to LA for work. Prosecution says, did Sean talk about Scott's car? Cassie says, Sean said he wanted Scott's friend to see Scott's car blown up. Prosecution says, what happened next? Cassie says, we met, Sean, Scott, and me, Scott said, what about my vehicle? So we met, Sean, Scott, and me. So they met. I want to see the motherfucking person after all that shit. And Sean said, what vehicle? And that was the end of the meeting. Prosecution put up the photo. What is this? Cassie says, me and Sean in Kingston for Jamaica for Sound Clash. I thought for a second it said Sean Kingston. I'm like, damn, you met up with the scammer? You're way too beautiful, girl. Well, I said, y'all seen the picture when the mother was, Sean in Kingston and his mother was arrested? Mother looks crazy. She looked crazy as fuck. Skis and scammers, allegedly. Scammer skeezers, man. Hell no. Boom. Oh! You're way too beautiful, girl. How you got his mama looking like that with all that money? Oh. Sean Kingston and his mother, Janice Turner, were convicted of fraud. Oh, it's convicted. Okay, fuck it. They're scammers. Scheming over $1 million in luxury merchandise. They were found guilty of conspiracy to commit wire fraud and scheme involved in using fake wire receipts to deceive sellers of high-end items like vehicles, jewelry, and electronics. Oh, no. But not Sean Kingston. She said me and Sean in Kingston, Jamaica for Sound Clash. All right. Don't you? Where her hair go? I don't know, man. Blew up the car, man. That's wild. On some kingpin shit. How is the Cross gonna counter this? They're gonna have to tear into her. I mean, what are they gonna do? But they have to be really careful, because if they go too hard, it's gonna look like the defense is no better than Diddy. But this is what they get paid for. This is what they get to pay the big bucks. Diddy has the top of the line representing him. He has a lawyer that's willing to go to jail. Lock me up. Lock me up and take me away. Oh, and by the way, I'm here to kink shame. Anyone who likes to abuse or be abused during sex is effed up. So unlike Don Lemon, Perez Hilton, and TMZ, I kink shame with zero apologies. Also, there's some people are calling this kink shaming. Uh-oh. Careful. Careful. You don't want to embarrass people.
It's hard to imagine, but it got worse. The more that Cassie testified today, the more disturbing allegations we learned.
It is day 2 of Cassie Ventura's testimony, and what is coming out of the courtroom right now is just straight up chilling. Today, under oath, Cassie revealed that she was forced by Sean Diddy Combs to recruit at least 13 male sex workers. Oof. She said 13. And for what she says, he called freak-offs. That's what she recruited them for. And that's not all. Several of those men are reportedly in court right now as we speak, sitting just feet from her. So let's break down what we have learned and why this could be a major turning point in this federal investigation. So throwing it back to the case of Cassie and Diddy and some of the court sketches that we have, Cassie did tell jurors that she met Diddy when she was just 19, signed as an artist, then became his girlfriend, and then that's when things got dark. She says that that he drugged her, controlled her, beat her, forced her into sex acts, sometimes with complete strangers, while he watched and filmed it. And then today, for the first time, she named names. So Cassie testified that Diddy instructed her to go out and find men for these so-called freak-offs, usually tall, athletic men who'd be given drugs, sometimes even paid in cash. She said that she felt like his recruiter. She'd book hotel rooms. She would text Diddy when the men arrived. And then she says he'd either watch or he would join in. And yes, she did name 13 of them in court. Some of them are present in the courtroom again right now, reportedly under subpoena. One source described it as a silent line of men, all avoiding eye contact. So let that one sink in. Now, she also said that many of these sessions were filmed without consent and that she was often high on ecstasy or forced to take mystery pills, her words, beforehand. And then this is important. Cassie testified that Diddy would threaten her if she did not go along with it. She says that he'd say things like, quote, "No one will believe you. I made you," end quote. And all of this comes just days after that 2016 hotel surveillance video leaked, the one that appears to show Diddy chasing Cassie down a hallway, throwing her to the ground and then kicking her as she tries to crawl away. It's been verified that footage is real, and now prosecutors are starting to build a case around it. So I know this is a lot, but I want to take a quick second to hear from those of you that are on the chat live right now. We're again live right now on this app, so go ahead and drop your comments. Questions for you guys. Do you believe Cassie? Do you feel like a reckoning, like this would be reckoning for Diddy, or is this a pile-on? And what do you make of the fact that 13 alleged sex workers are sitting in court right now? Would love to take some answers from people that are streaming in and tuning into this.
Oh. Your way to you. Okay. Oh, shit. All right, we'll refresh and let's see what we got going on. What's popping? So we're talking about this meeting where Sean Scott, which is Kid Cudi, and Cassie had met up, and Kid Cudi asked, "What's up with my vehicle?" Sean said, "What vehicle?" And that was the end of the meeting. They put up a photo, and that was Cassie and Sean in Kingston, Jamaica for Sound Clash. Prosecution says, "Were you bruised?" Cassie says, "Yes." And this photo, what is it? Cassie says, "Me and Sean's bathroom, September 18th, 2015. Prosecution says, "What were you doing there?" She says, "Recuperating from being beaten up by Sean in Las Vegas." Cassie says, "We were having an after party in our suite. I talked to a producer and Sean tapped me on the shoulder, called me into our room and beat me, kicked me as I tried to hide behind the toilet." Prosecution says, "What stopped it?" D-Rock and James Cruz came in. Cassie says, "It made D-Rock sad." Prosecution said, "What are these communications?" Cassie says, "From D-Rock to me. He says, 'Where are you at? It's time to ice your face.'" Prosecution says, "Why?" Cassie says, "I had just been beaten up by Sean." Damn, D-Rock. Did D-Rock talk about this? D-Rock. Diddy. Cassie tells how D-Rock. Gene deal. Did he convince D-Rock to betray Biggie that night?
And they call it trial by public opinion. But let's be honest, this isn't just public opinion anymore. Again, this is day 2 of sworn federal testimony with corroborating video, matching patterns, and now a literal lineup of men, Cassie says, were involved. So here is where we are right now. Cassie speaking under oath. 13 alleged sex workers have been named, and some of them are in court. And federal agents are watching, as well as the public. And then Diddy, he has not made a public appearance in weeks. The man who once owned the room is now nowhere to be found, except in the courtroom. We're going to be covering this story every day as it unfolds. And trust me, it is unfolding fast right now. And if you or someone you know is a survivor of abuse or coercion, please call the National Human Trafficking Hotline at 1-888-373-7888. They're confidential, it's 24/7, and they are trained to help. All right, and be on computers and stay up to date with us on Fox 5 streaming for updates. Also, drop your thoughts and comments below. We're going to keep this conversation going with you.
Yo, way to. All right. How you guys feeling about today's trial? Oh, let's take a look. Maybe I'll take the poll off. This is one final look. We talked about parents kissing their kids. Do you kiss your kids on the lips? 16% said yes. 84% said no. 900, almost 1,000 votes. All right. Somebody in the chat said free Diddy. What a day it's been today. Wild. A lot has come out. Let me see how this looks. Not too big. It can melt. Let me see what that looks like. Oh, it doesn't show up on the phone. Okay. Oh, that does there. Oh, that's cool. My little icon. I wasn't sure if there was a little IKML on the side if you turn your phone to the side. A little IKML thing there. Oh shit. Okay, gangster. Gangster. It's the little things, you know? It's the little chat thing. I wanted to fix it a little bit. It doesn't listen to me. Oh, let me try this. Let's see. Raining all day. I wish we'd have a rainy day like that. All day raining. Oh, it still does it. Okay. See if I turn this off. Let's see if that fixes it. Nope. He dragged her across the floor. If you're arguing he didn't kick and drag her, your eyes are effed. Jeez, what the hell's all that? Oh, the train? Come on the train and ride it. Oh, maybe that's why. Boom, let's see if that fixes it. Alright, let's check for some updates. Let's check what's going on. Oh no, it didn't fix it. That sucks. I don't watch Streamlabs to show up in the chat box, but it's showing up. Okay. So some updates. So the D-Rock situation, let's see. So they went to this sound clash. She's showing a picture from the P. Diddy's bathroom, September 18, 2015. She was recuperating from being beaten by Sean in Las Vegas. Cassie says, we were having an after party in our suite. I talked to a producer and Sean tapped me on the shoulder, called me into our room and beat me. Okay, I talked about that too. Kicked me, and as I tried to hide behind the toilet, what stopped it was D-Rock and James Cruz. Okay, he was sad from the community. He was sad. We did that already. Okay, where were all these times he beat you? Okay, were all these times the times he beat you, I guess. Cassie said no, there were more. Prosecution says, who else did you see Sean be violent with? Oh, okay, he was out violent with other people. I saw him drag an assistant out of bed. I saw him punch Ellie in his head. One time in Turks and Caicos, he dragged a person. Cassie says, I believe we had a freak off in Turks and Caicos. Prosecution says, what floor did you live on? In 875 Comstock. She says 17th floor. Did a friend stay with you? Cassie says yes. Sean came and held her and threw her on the patio furniture out of the balcony. Or out on the balcony. Wow. Oh man, tweets are acting kind of weird. So Sean not only beats on her, but beats on other people, according to her. She said that he beat on the assistant, dragged the assistant out of bed, punched him in the head one time in Turks and Caicos. He dragged the person. They had a freak off in Turks and Caicos on the 17th floor. Did a friend stay with you? Yes. Sean came and held her and threw her on the patio furniture. Threw her on the patio furniture out on the balcony. Damn. Brittany goes to Turks and Caicos. Somebody said, wait, he threw her off the 17th floor? That must be a misstatement. Yeah, I took it as that at first. No, I guess threw her out onto the furniture. Crazy, bro. Raining every single day for 9 days? Wow.
The governor. to either pardon or commute the sentence.
He says, Sean said he would hurt both of us. AUSA says, where did you go after Connecticut? Cassie says, I went to see Sean. He was in Arizona. His son was in college. I told my mother I was going to LA for work. AUSA says, so it looked like even though she was in Connecticut, like probably like a safe place with her mom, telling her mom that, yeah, Diddy's beating me, Kid Cudi comes to see her. Looked like she says, and if you ask me, this could be interpreted as, yo, Diddy had other women. You thought you could have other men. Diddy, you realize Diddy will beat your ass over other men, and you figured, and probably blow that nigga car up and do all type of shit. So you cut it off with Kid Cudi, because if you were that scared that he was gonna hurt you or Kid Cudi, so you cut it off with Kid Cudi, and Kid Cudi was with you, why cut it off with Kid Cudi, then go to see Diddy right after? So she goes to Arizona to see Diddy, and Diddy's son was in college over there. So, and she lies to her mom to say, I went to LA for work. It says, did Sean talk about Kid Cudi's car? Cassie said Sean said he wanted Kid Cudi's friends to see Kid Cudi's cars blown up. AUSA says, what happened next? He said, well, we met Sean, Kid Cudi, and me. And Kid Cudi said, what about my vehicle? Sean said, what vehicle? And that was the end of Gangsta! Gangsta!
This guy's crazy.
Gangsta! Yo, Kid Cudi, you wear crop tops, my nigga. Diddy more gangster than you. He get the nut and the semen rubbed on his nipples, bro. You placating like you moist, like you gay. Diddy full gay, nigga. That's why he blew your car up and he looked you in the face and you said, but what about my car? And he hit you with a Debo line. What car, little nigga? What car? What car, little nigga?
Oh,
nah,
shit.
This is crazy. Yo, Kid Cudi, he's crazy. Yo, Kid Cudi, why you even going that Drake? This nigga blew your car up and looked you in the face and said, what car? Nah, Diddy's gangster. Diddy's gangster.
Damn. Damn, bro. Let's check for some updates here. Let's see. Okay, so Sean supposedly comes in and throws the friend out onto the patio furniture out on the balcony. Then Cassie says that she sees Sean bring her back in from over the balcony, then throw her on the patio furniture. Prosecution says, Carrie Morgan, question mark. Cassie says, I seen Sean hit her in the head. Prosecution says, did you get drugs on your own? Cassie says, occasional drug dealers, opiates, Xanax, Valium. Oh, so she getting drugs on by herself too. On her own. Wow.
Diddle are gonna be taking soft boys cakes next 30 years.
Joshua, thank you for the super chat, man. Thank you for the 5. Diddler are going to be taking soft boys cakes next 30 years. I wonder if he's going to have his cake taken or he's going to be taking the cake. Damn. Freak offs in the jail, in prison. Sean, Cassie says Sean would put the pills in a vitamin C bottle on the sink in the New York apartment. He'd say you can take them. He had doctors who would write the scripts in the name of an assistant or my name. Damn. Boy, I got the connections, them doctor connections. When you got money, man, they make the moves for you.
What source?
He may be a sexual deviant. He may be.
Something's wrong with Diddy. Let me just take a look at something real quick. I want to fix this last video.
Teenage daughters, Chance, Delilah,
keeping an eye on that.
Yeah, it's going to be a long couple of weeks as this unfolds. Michelle, thank you for staying on top of it.
Well, is that we're no longer work. Yesterday, I don't know if anyone remembers, and so they're talking about this escort. Then, Cassie said, "That's who took you to sexual deviance."
Let's see.
Does you have someone like Cassie Ventura?
Oh, you guys can hear that. I'm sorry, my bad. All right. Thank you for bearing with me how to fix something. All right. So, looks like the live feed went away over here. Get another live feed. Diddy. Check the tweets. It's been a crazy day. It's been a crazy day. Imagine if this was
Connecticut for the Christmas holiday, writing under the alias Veronica.
Imagine if the trial was live streamed. Let me catch us up on the tweets here real quick. She was saying how she would get her prescriptions, her drugs, that he would put the pills in a vitamin C bottle. He would write the scripts in her name or an assistant's name. Opiates, Xanax, Valium, anything you wanted. Prosecution, your brother's birthday party in Connecticut in 2013. What happened? Cassie said, my mother told me someone was taking pictures of me. Ooh. I went and punched her in the head. What? Punched who in the head? Your brother's birthday in Connecticut was 2013. Okay. My mother told me there was someone taking pictures of me. I went and punched her in the head. I guess the person that was taking pictures. Prosecution says you testified your relationship with Sean ended in 2018. How was your health? Okay, so she punched the person in the head. I mean, there's a lot of people that said I would too if I was being recorded, I guess, right?
Lunged at her, but she managed to escape. Cassie Ventura said the fight in the Escalade happened in front of an assistant and a security driver by the name of Roger Bonds. She said the aggression didn't end until they arrived at Sean Combs' residence, at which point she ran out of the car. Bonds caught her and brought her into the home, she testified. Inside, Ventura saw her face. Didn't look like myself at all, she said. Just knots and bleeding, swollen, everything, she told the court. She recalled that she was vomiting when Combs appeared, and his demeanor transformed once again. The person he switched over to during the car ride was now gone, Ventura said. Combs was freaking out over her injuries. As she said, he told her to sneak out of the house with security and hide out in a hotel. She checked into a room that night. Cassie Ventura recounted once initiating a physical fight with Sean Combs as they rode in a Cadillac Escalade in Los Angeles. She said she punched Combs in the face as hard as she could, after which his whole demeanor changed. His eyes went black, and he began to attack her, Ventura said. She took shelter under the back seat of the Escalade, she said, and tried to cover her face as Combs stomped on it. Cassie Ventura was asked by the government if she ever started a physical fight with Sean Combs. Ventura said she did. Prosecutor Emily Johnson followed up by asking if she had ever seen injuries on Combs as a result of a fight Ventura started. Ventura said she hadn't. Johnson then asked if Ventura was injured as a result of him becoming physical. She said she had been. There would be at least a bruise. These fights would require days worth of recovery, she said. She was about to elaborate on where she would hide out. She said hotel rooms before Sean Combs' lawyers objected to this line of questioning. And then both sides went to have a sidebar with the judge. Jurors did not have any notable facial expressions as they looked at the series of freak-off photos during Cassie Ventura's testimony. Some looked at their screens briefly, and each photo was shown and then switched their gazes to Ventura or the prosecutor. Others occasionally took a second or third look or stared down at their screens situated at lap level. For most of the time, they were displayed. Jurors at big trials often remain dispassionate, even while viewing disturbing court exhibits or hearing unsettling testimony. Cassie Ventura was shown an image of Mia, an alleged victim who will be testifying a little bit later here in this trial, and asked whether she is familiar with Ventura, and she said, yes, she was. She next identified an image of Jules, a male escort she previously referenced in testimony. Those images were from a freak-off, Ventura confirmed. Ventura identified another image of herself and Jules at a different freak-off. Those are still images from video that were taken from Ventura's personal devices here. The court, after a brief break, was back in session. Prosecutor Emily Johnson handed Cassie Ventura a black binder. The exhibit feed, which shows onlookers and the press what evidence the government is presenting for the jury, has been turned off. The evidence they are showing in the jury is now under seal here. Let's see if we got more fresh updates to bring to you. Waiting for some major updates, of course, to pass along to you on Live Now from Fox, everybody. But again, we are providing you these images just from outside of the court because there is no cameras allowed inside of court, obviously, because it is a federal case here. During the break, lawyers for accusers who plan to testify emphasized how nervous that their clients are coming up to the witness stand later on in this trial. The lawyers spoke to the judge to ensure that they'd continue to be able to communicate with their clients during breaks in the trial, in part to calm their nerves. The judge told them that they could still talk to their clients, but were disallowed from advising them on things that they should or shouldn't say or otherwise affect their testimony. One lawyer said her client, who will testify as Jane, has had very serious breakdown moments in preparation for this trial. Another lawyer said his client, who will testify under the name Mia, will tell about the worst things ever to happen to her. Those things, he said,
that's going to be
she
crazy.
Otherwise would have taken to her grave. He said she will want emotional support during her testimony. We also learned during this long day of testimony again from Cassie Ventura after their trip to a film festival in 2013. Combs began playing a recording of a freak-off on his laptop computer as he and Cassie sat together on a commercial flight in New York. Cassie said Combs told her he was going to embarrass me and release them. The prosecutor posing the questions, Emily Johnson, asked if there were people around you when Combs was playing the videos on the phone. Cassie said there were. After landing in New York, she testified that they went to dinner and then had another freak-off right afterward. Also, attending the festival back in 2013, Cassie beamed as she posed for photographers, but after getting into a fight with Combs away from the glitz and glamour, she said she didn't have a place to stay.
All right. Let's see what's going on here. Some of the updates. So she goes and punches this person taking pictures of her brother, I guess, is what it seems like. And Cassie says, she was sleepwalking. Oh, okay, because of her health. She said their relationship, testified your relationship ended with Sean in 2018. How was her health? Cassie said, I was sleepwalking. I had PTSD. Defense says, objection. Judge says, overruled. Prosecution says, what's this? Cassie says, a photo of my front door in 2018. Prosecution, publish it to the jury. Why is there a knife there? Cassie says, Sean was coming around a lot, so I had it. Oh, so she had a knife by her door. Okay. Prosecution, August 2018. What happened? Cassie says, we were having a closure conversation at a restaurant in Malibu. He was trying to convince me to go to Burning Man. Damn, he's down with Burning Man? Prosecution said, were you not seeing were you seeing any more? Were you seeing, or maybe meant to say anyone, were you seeing anyone? Cassie says, my now husband. Prosecution says, what happened next? Cassie says, Sean came to my house and AR'd me on the living room floor. His eyes were black. It was like taking something from you. Prosecution says, you cried? What did Sean do? Cassie says he continued and finished inside of me. Then he got up and left. Prosecution, did you ever have sex with him again? She says, yes, voluntarily. Huh? Did you ever have sex with him again? She says, yes, voluntarily. We had a good night. I went back to his house. Can you explain why you did that after he AR'd you? She says, we had spent 10 years together. Okay. That's weird. A little bit. I guess part of trauma, maybe? Or when you're in something toxic, continuing to go back. But then she said we had a good time after. That's crazy.
Names. Some were flown in for the occasions. Just yesterday, Cassie had identified a half dozen other escorts. One of them she identified was advertised as the Punisher.
So she was with her husband, like maybe not husband, but she was with seeing that guy, the guy she's with now when all this happened, I guess.
She was concerned that Diddy would classify her as a, quote, slut. And that was another worry that she had. She said she always worried that he'd get mad enough to release the videos. I feared for my career. I feared for my family. It's just embarrassing. It's horrible and disgusting. No one should do that to anyone, she said. All right, so let's look out for some more.
I think the prosecution's bringing this up probably preemptively, you know, knowing that the defense is going to bring up all this stuff. So let's try to, you know, get ahead of this before the defense brings it up and tries to make her look some kind of way. Technically, we are the ones trauma bonding now. The Punisher.
When she went home for Christmas back in 2011 with bruises from an altercation with the hip-hop mogul, she lied and told her mother it was the first time that he'd hit her. I couldn't hurt her like that. Cassie testified, and it was terrifying. It's not normal, constantly being bruised up by the person you love who says that they love you. Jurors saw photos showing a large, dark bruise on Cassie's lower back and other bruises on her shoulder and thigh that she said she sustained in the altercation. So again, prosecution continuing to try to really showcase this back.
That Burning Man thing is wild. Burning Man? He probably wanted to try to get her again under the influence. Burning Man is an annual event held in Black Rock City, a temporary metropolis in Nevada desert focused on community, art, self-expression, self-reliance, basically drugs. Participants known as burners actively create an event's atmosphere, including art installations, performances, and interactions, all guided by the event's 10 principles. The key aspects of Burning Man that you must remember: Black Rock City is a temporary community constructed each year in the Black Rock Desert. Active participation. Burners are not just spectators, but active creators in the event's environment and experiences. 10 principles. The event is guided by principles like radical inclusion, gifting, decommodification, radical self-reliance, and more. Let's learn about the 10 principles. Radical inclusion. Anyone may be part of Burning Man. Welcome and respect the stranger. No prerequisites exist for participation in our community. Gifting. Burning Man is devoted to acts of gifts of giving. The value of a gift is unconditional. Gifting does not contemplate a return or an exchange for something equal. decommodification. In order to preserve the spirit of gifting, our community seeks to create social environments and unmediated by commercial sponsorships, transactions, or advertising. We stand ready to protect our culture from such exploitation. We resist the substitution of consumption for participatory experience. Radical self-reliance. Burning Man encourages the individual to discover, exercise, and rely on their inner resources. So on and so forth. The 10 principles of tripping. So it goes on to say, so she tried to convince him to go to Burning Man. It didn't happen. Was she seeing anybody? She was seeing the man she's with now, and Sean eyed her on her living room floor. His eyes were black. He finished inside of her. And did you ever have sex with him again? Yes, voluntarily. We talked about that. They had been together 10 years. Prosecution says, who did you stay in touch with? Cassie says, most people, though I pulled away. Prosecution says, did you message Sean about after that? Cassie says, yes, just checking in. Prosecution says, what did he send you? Cassie says that he had iPads full of images. Get him his money. His money? Money? Was he trying to pimp her out? Get me my money.
That I want to bring to you from inside of the court. I'm your host, Mike Page, worldwide for you, continuing to break down the big day of day 3 of the Diddy trial. Let's bring you these updates from court reporters right now. The U.S. government saying your brother's birthday party in Connecticut in 2013. What happened? Ventura said, my mother told me someone was taking pictures of me. I went and punched her on the head. The government also said you testified your relationship with Sean ended in 2018. How was your health then? Ventura said, I was sleepwalking. I had PTSD. The defense objected. The judge overruled. The government asked, what's this? A photo of my front door in 2018. Publish it to the jury, the government says. Why is there a knife there? Sean was coming around a lot, Cassie said, so I had it. The government also said, August 2018, what happened? Ventura, we were having a closure conversation at a restaurant in Malibu. He was trying to convince me to go to Burning Man. And the government says, were you seeing anyone? Ventura said, my now husband. The government asked what happened next. Ventura said, Sean came to my house and raped me on my living room floor. His eyes were black. It was like taking something from you. The government said, you cried. Then what did Sean do? Ventura said, he continued and finished inside of me. Then he got up and left. Jeez. The government then asked, did you ever have sex with him again? Ventura says, yes, voluntarily. We had a good night. I went back to his house. The government said, can you explain why you did that after he had raped you? Ventura said, we had been together for 10 years. The government also asking, why did you stay in touch? Who did you stay in touch with? Ventura said, most people, though I pulled away. The government then asked, what did you message Sean about after that? Ventura said, just checking in. The government said, what did he send you? That he had iPads full of images. Get him his money. So again, just some more revelations that are coming out in court right now. We are continuing to follow it for you every step of the way on Live Now from Fox. Turning once again to her drug use, Cassie Ventura testified that she first took opioids when she got her wisdom teeth removed at 19, and then Sean had them and I took them with him, she added. She said Combs would procure.
So prosecution says money back for what? Cassie says for having paid my now husband to be my trainer. Oh, shit. What did you write back? Cassie said, do you want me to tell the truth? It's much deeper than iPads. There was abuse, more than freak-offs. Uh-oh. What's she talking about? Do you want me to tell you the truth? It's much deeper than iPads. There was abuse, more than freak-offs. What does that more mean? Yeah, what? Spill it. Everybody say spill it, spill it. Somebody said Ack was like, come on, Diddy. They say spill it. We want to know the tea. Oh, man. Spill it, spill it, spill it. Come on. Everybody's waiting. There's more? More than abuse, more than the freak-offs. What the? Oh, shit. I fucked up. That's why I was touching buttons. What? Money back. For what? For having paid my husband to be my trainer. What did you write back? Do you want me to tell you the truth? It's much deeper than iPads. There was abuse. More than freak-offs. What? What? Is there something else? Was the husband involved in the freak-offs? Was he down with Diddy? Oh, man. Oh, that's not it. There we go. I got the buttons. That looks messed up too, though. Okay. Lord, we're waiting. Okay, let's wait and see what we got here. Oh, man. I don't know. Was the husband getting down too? Was he part of the freak-off parties? The workout trainer? Oh, God. There was a time I couldn't take the pain. Tried to walk out in traffic. My husband wouldn't let me. I had trauma therapy. Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say something else. There was a time I couldn't take the pain. Tried to walk out in traffic. My husband wouldn't let me. I had trauma therapy. Prosecution says, did you write? Cassie says, yes. A book with chapters. Mom helped. What did you want with that book? That Sean read it. Oh, so she wrote a book. So they're trying to get, I think they're trying to get ahead of the curve. So in case the defense is like, man, she wrote a book. She made money. She was up and coming. Prosecution says, what pain did Sean put you through? Cassie says, shame. To carry the things that were shameful for him. I took on a lot of responsibility for what that I never should have. He brought the concept to me when I was 22. It was expected of me. I felt terrible. Okay. Okay. Sean Combs' defense attorneys are expected to argue that Cassie and Sean Combs had a mutually toxic relationship and that she was also violent towards him. Prosecutors have been asking Ventura, their star witness, to volunteer some of these episodes before she is cross-examined. Cassie testified that she once became enraged when she learned a woman took a photo of her while she was drunk at a birthday party in a bar. She found the woman at her car. She testified she pulled her out. Damn, pulled her out and I was punching her in the head. Okay.
She said, and tried to cover her face as Combs stomped on it. Cassie Ventura was asked by the government if she ever started a physical fight with Sean Combs. Ventura said she did. Prosecutor Emily Johnson followed up by asking if she had ever seen injuries on Combs as a result of a fight Ventura started. Ventura said she had it. Johnson then asked if Ventura was injured as a result of him becoming physical. She said she had been. There would be at least a bruise. These fights would require days worth of recovery, she said. She was about to elaborate on where she would hide out. She said hotel rooms before Sean Combs' lawyers objected to this line of questioning. and then both sides went to have a sidebar with the judge. Jurors did not have any notable facial.
Okay, all right. We're waiting for updates. There was this guy. Let me see what he had to say.
We are
he talked about this
on
morning.
a lunch break from day 3 of the Diddy trial, and this has been another 3 hours of Diddy's ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, on the stand, recounting the horrors that she endured for nearly 11 years as his on and off girlfriend between 2007 and 2018. Now, I'm going to break this down for you with respect to the good and the bad from the perspective of the state looking to get a conviction, because right now they're the ones who are center stage. So let's look at it from their perspective. If you are the state, you are pleased that you got this morning certain testimony which really helps secure the notion that not all that a lot of what her motivation was, Cassie's motivation was to perform in these degrading sexual acts that they refer to as freak-offs, was motivated by things other than love and other than her free choice. And the monstrosity of Diddy was on full display this morning in ways that seem to exceed what we saw yesterday. There's description of an exchange. They actually had an exhibit of an exchange of a text message between Diddy and Cassie, where he's saying that that he does not want her to use ketamine anymore during his freak-offs, because he was bothered by the fact that it would make her too dissociative. She said she wanted ketamine. She liked using ketamine because it would help her not be there in the moment, and she could basically suffer through without experiencing it. And that seemed to bother Diddy, that he said that part of a good freak off is that you remember it, meaning that, you know, let's make sure that these scars I'm giving you here are going to last forever. He didn't say those words. I'm paraphrasing what the perspective he seems to have been taken with respect to I want to make sure that you're going to remember this. We also, and very
okay, maybe I'll play some more of that after. Let me see what else, because I want to make sure. I hope they get to the cross. So what pain did Sean put you through? Cassie says, shame, to carry the things that were shameful for him. I took on the responsibility. How did you get chapters to Sean? She says, through my attorney, and I reached out to KK. I asked her if he read it. She said it was not taken seriously. Prosecution says, how much did you ask for the book? $30 million. That looks a little, I don't know, right? Prosecution says, did you sue? She says, November 2023. Prosecution says, what happened with the lawsuit? It was settled for $20 million in 24 hours. Oh! Why are you testifying in this trial? Cassie says, I can't carry this anymore. What's wrong is wrong. I tried people like they were disposable. Escorts. Anybody. Prosecution says, how many freak-offs did you have with Sean? Impossible to know. Hundreds, Cassie says. Prosecution says, after you broke up with Sean, did you ever do a freak-off? No. No further questions! It's time! Sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas. It's time! It's cross! Boom, 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 bop, bam. The type of shit I'm on you wouldn't understand. It's time for the cross-examination. Are you ready? Oh. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? So. Tell me, ain't nothing but a heartache. Tell me why. I never wanna hear you say, I want it that way. Just saddle, the way that it used to be. Yeah. Now I'm a distant, also obey. You know the cross. They're doing a cross before the sidebar before the cross examination. It's time. We need to have a Diddy after party. I don't know if I have the energy. Some days after the trials, we do a Diddy after party, or maybe we just keep moving, covering the trial and covering different cases. I don't know. Ba 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 da ba ba ba. I'm loving it. Let's get the cross examination. They got about 40 minutes, maybe less that we can get in. I don't know. And tomorrow we'll come back with the start off with the cross. That should be exciting. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, Facebook, you're probably gonna get cut off. You guys have a 8-hour stream limit. Da, 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 da. I don't know if I should start it over for you guys or what. It's kind of hot in here. Yeah, I gotta put that too. Lunch break right now. They're taking a. All right, cool. Perfect. Perfect. All right, so we're waiting. It's exciting. The cross is finally here. It's finally coming. I'm stoked. Oh, what happened to this? Hanging out, waiting. Handed you 2 drives. During a graphic test. Sidebar. She spoke her truth. Let's see. Do we get enough time today? I hope at least 30 minutes. They're probably going to start slow, though. But with the jury out, judge says, why don't we put off cross until tomorrow? Prosecution says, we'd like to start now to be sure to finish. Judge says, Mr. Estavo. Combs Estavo says, she will be finished by the end of the week, so no cross today. Damn, bro. That gives the defense, though, time to sit tonight. Time to sit tonight, plan, plot, go everything. They got time, more time now. I mean, how are you going to leave him for like 30 minutes and talk about, no, let's do it now? Prosecution. I think the prosecution wanted to get it in, force him to go in today, but they're not going to do that. They're going to take the whole day tomorrow, which should be interesting. Tomorrow, woof. Woof. Oh, I got to fix the thumbnail too. I mean, for now, it's okay, but. So tomorrow morning, we'll do this. Thursday, tomorrow's Thursday. Put this aside for a minute.
Cassie Ventura has taken the stand for day 2 and is expected to spend 4 days on the stand, including direct and cross-examination. Now, as the former girlfriend of Diddy, where there's even video of her being physically abused by him and claims of that being one of many, many incidents of abuse, the defense team is in a little bit of a precarious situation. In general, when you're cross-examining someone who is a physically beaten woman, the defense strategy tends to be, let's put up a female litigator to question her and try and soften the blow. The difficult issue here in particular is that the defense is saying that she's a strong, independent woman who was free to make her own choices. She did not look very strong or independent on direct. Her whole demeanor looked like someone who is either conflicted or somewhat beaten, like just emotionally beaten. And if the defense is going to rip her apart on the stand, you have to ask yourself, is that going to help their own argument that she was a strong, independent woman if the jury spends a day or 2 days watching her getting beaten down by the defense? I'm Joe Neerman, Good Logic. I'm covering the Diddy trial.
Diddy. Gotta make a thumbnail for this, I guess. Give me a second, guys. I'm going to set up a stream. Diddy!
Just also continuing to showcase some of the highlights from earlier as well. Asked if she was ever injured during a freak-off, Cassie Ventura replied that Sean Combs would often grab me up, push me down, hit me in the side of the head, kick me, you name it. Sometimes the pair was alone during the attacks, she said. Sometimes she knew an escort had overheard the assault because they would ask her afterward if she was okay. One time, she said, the escort known as Jules witnessed Combs attacking her directly. These assaults would happen too frequently, Ventura said, and she says it would happen a lot, unfortunately. Some other details that we are learning. Cassie Ventura testified about an incident at her Los Angeles home in August of 2013 when Sean Combs allegedly became livid that she had been sleeping on the couch. She said her friends tried to block Combs from beating her, but he hurled her against a bed frame, she said, leaving her with a wound on her eyebrow where she still has a scar. Ventura took a photo of the injury, she said, because I didn't want him to forget what he did because it's awful, and at the very least, I just wanted him to be sorry about it. Ventura had been packing to travel to a music festival when Combs exploded, she said. She went to the event with her hair styled over the gash on her eyebrow. Prosecutors also asked Cassie Ventura if she ever left a freak-off before it was finished. She said she had sometimes tried to when it was a bad time or when she became scared of Sean Combs' behavior. She said she would typically find a back exit at the hotel and leave through an alley. She testified that the only time she actually left the premises during a freak-off was in March of 2016 at the Intercontinental in Los Angeles, the same incident in which Combs was seen on security footage chasing her down and beating her in the hallway. Every other time, she said, she ended back in the room where the freak-off was happening. Again, we are taking you to some of the biggest updates here as Cassie Ventura back on the stand right now as the trial continues. Day 3 of the trial, and again, prosecution still with their direct questioning. We have not had the opportunity to have the defense cross-examine. Prosecutors say that they could be wrapped up before the end of the day with Cassie.
What a day. I want to see the after. I want to see the outside while I set up this live stream.
On Combs because I didn't want to be there sober. Cassie Ventura was also asked about the health issues she had as a result of the frequent freak-offs.
Think he was like that with J-Lo? Everyone will want to know now. I am sure he was a perv back then too.
I know. What does J-Lo know? Why didn't she testify on behalf of the victims? J-Lo.
Diddy's lawyers, they're going to wait tomorrow to start off fresh with the cross-examination. So the jury is heading home. Cassie is leaving the stand. And coming up in just moments, I'll be talking to a legal analyst to talk about this case and about today's developments. So you're watching Live Now from Fox. Live now from Fox again, bringing you some of the biggest takeaways from the Diddy trial. Day 3, Cassie Ventura still on the stand here. There was a noticeable longer lunch break today. That's because the court was discussing some procedural and evidentiary issues the entire time. And these issues included the kind of contact that alleged victims can have with their personal lawyers while testifying, and the timelines of the defense showing exhibits that they'd like to use to the government. To give the parties time to get lunch and for the government to get its binders ready, we're now we're in that delay, and that's some of the reason. I know many of you are wondering, okay, why are we still just showcasing some stuff that happened in the morning session? We are also learning that jurors have returned from the break as well. And again, the prosecutor says videos of Cassie involved in sexual experiences will not be shown during a direct examination, but it's unknown whether the defense will show some.
Overloaded right now.
Cassie testified in the morning session that she complained to Combs once about the sexual things he made her do and the abuse that came with it by telling him, "You treat me like Ike." The comment was a reference to Turner, who was described in singer Tina Turner's autobiography and a film adapted off of its abusive lover. Prosecutor Emily Johnson told the judge she expects to finish her questioning of Cassie before the end of the day. leaving some time for defense lawyers to begin their cross-examination. A lawyer for Combs told the judge the prosecution's questioning of Cassie had gone differently than we expected. She didn't elaborate except to say the defense will have to adjust their defense strategy as a result. Previously, the defense has indicated its plans to show the sexual interactions were consensual behavior between adults who engaged in the swingers lifestyle. Throughout her testimony, Cassie has insisted she never wanted to have sexual experiences with other people, but did it to please the man she loved and out of fear of him.
I'm almost ready. We got 2 live streams to do.
We also learned earlier, attending a film festival in 2013, Cassie beamed as she posed for photographers, but after getting into a fight with Combs, away from the glitz and glamour, she said she didn't have a place to stay. Cassie testified Combs accused her of taking drugs from him and kicked her off of the yacht where they were staying. Cassie said she left the boat without shoes. Her passport and other belongings were also left behind, she said. Cassie said she ended up crashing at a hotel where Combs' employees were staying. On the way back to the U.S., she said Combs threatened to release videos of her having sex during freak-offs. Cassie told jurors she felt trapped by the hip-hop mogul. Just also continuing to showcase some of the highlights from earlier as well. Asked if she was ever injured during a freak-off, Cassie Ventura replied that Sean Combs would often grab me up, push me down, hit me in the side of the head, kick me, you name it. Sometimes the pair was alone during the attacks, she said. Sometimes she knew an escort had overheard the assault because they would ask her afterward if she was okay. One time, she said, the escort known as Jules.
Okay. We're going to cover Tory Lanez for now. There was a press conference. There was an update. He was stabbed. Since we ended early today, he was stabbed 14 times. Then I have another story after that to update. So we'll try to make most of the time. I'm going to transfer you guys. Let's cover Tory Lanez, and I have another story. And remember, tomorrow morning we'll be back here again, too, so don't forget that. Direct. No, not that one. Okay. Pop, pop, pop. Save. Okay, I'm going to move you guys over. Oh, I just closed the damn thing I needed.